Welcome to the Karen Cave. Today we are going to do a small batch of strawberry preserves. It's very simple. You don't need a lot of things. You got your strawberries, you've got your sugar, you've got your lemon, and you've got your pectin. And you can even do it without pectin if that's what you desire. You want to make sure that you take your strawberries and you weigh them. I've got about 5 pounds here, and cut them up. Just dice them up like this. And the next thing that you'll do, according to how many pounds that you have, you're going to want to add your sugar. I've got about 5 pounds of strawberries here, and I'm going to add 4 cups of sugar. So let's get started. Okay, you've got them all covered with the sugar. Next thing you're going to do is put some saran wrap on it and tighten it up and put it in the refrigerator for 12 to 15 hours. So after taking your strawberries out of the refrigerator from 12 to 15 hours, they're going to look nice and juicy, just like this. We're going to put them into a nice stainless steel pan or pot, and we're going to cook them down. So let's get started. Okay, so let's fire up the chambers and get it hot. And let's move our strawberries onto the flame. You're going to want to bring these to a hard boil and cook them for about 30 minutes until they're tender. So now is also your time to add your pectin to your preserves if you so desire to use them. So this would be using the Sure Gel if you want to add that to it. Sure Gel also comes in a brand that is for use in less sugar or no sugar recipes that you'll want to use. So I'm going to be using the Sure Gel with the sugar recipe today. As your preserves start to cook on the stove, you're going to want to, as they get tender, just to slightly mash them up with your grandma's masher. You also want to add about a tablespoon of lemon juice to your recipe as it's cooking. Okay, so we got our strawberry preserves. They're all ready to be jarred. And how can you tell if your strawberry preserves are really ready to be put into the jars? Just take a tablespoon of it as it's cooking after about 30 minutes and put it on a dish and put it in the freezer for about 4 minutes. And if it doesn't run when you bring it out, you know that your preserves are ready. So let's get started putting some into the jars. So we have our strawberry preserves. It's all ready. We know it's ready to be put into the jars because it was nice and frozen. So the next thing we want to do is make sure that our jars are all sterilized. You want to place your jars in hot boiling water for at least 15 to 20 seconds and get them sterilized. And take them out one by one as you are preserving them. So you take your jar out and set it aside, and then you'll want to use your lid lifter to reach down in that hot water and pull out the lid and set that down, because that's what you'll be using. Next, we'll want to use our funnel to fill our jars. And inside each one of these canning funnels is a line that you can see inside of it. That's where you're going to want to bring the level of preserves up into your jars. That line gives you a level of about ½ an inch, so the canning process has enough to bring the air up and seal that lid. So you don't want to go over that line. You can actually stay a little bit underneath it. So let's go ahead and fill our jar. And you can see the steam, so you want to make sure that that jar is warm and your preserves are warm. So the next step is to use our jar grippers and to take each one of our jars and put it into hot water that you've heated up but has not come to a boil yet. And then we'll bring it to a hard boil for 10 minutes. Okay, after 10 minutes, we've got about all of our jars out. I'm just pulling the last one out. And you'll start hearing some of them pop. Some of them have probably already sealed in your pot, and that's great. But to keep them warm and to keep them sealing really tight, Grandma always taught me to take a heavy towel and throw it over them and keep that heat in them. So until next time, like my episode and subscribe to my page, and let's keep canning.